Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Casey and I'm the designer behind Pattern Scout. This week I'm going to be kind of taking things a little bit slower and working on prepping a few projects. If you watched my winter wardrobe planning video a couple of videos back, I talked about how I wanted to start working on a peacoat and a blazer. Several videos back, I showed a sample for this wool fabric that I found that was like a really dark green houndstooth wool, and it is really, really pretty. And I did end up ordering some of that from Mood Fabrics, and I just need to prep that. And then I also have some linings that I need to wash. Some of these are linings that I don't plan to use anytime soon, but I hate washing one piece of fabric at a time. So now that I have a few linings accumulated, including the ones that I'm going to be using for this peacoat and the blazer, I'm just gonna wash them all together. They're all kind of dark colored, so I'm gonna wash them on like a gentle setting and hang them up to dry. So later this week, I'm actually having a procedure done on my skin. I'm getting like a laser procedure done on my skin to kind of remove some sun damage and age spots and that kind of thing. Nothing serious. It's all like purely aesthetic. So after that, I'm probably not going to be on camera for a few days, and I might end up taking off the next week, but I haven't decided yet. It just depends on kind of how the healing process goes from that. And I'm trying to pack a lot into the first part of this week. So I just want to get everything prepped and ready to roll, and I may try to go ahead and cut out some of my pattern pieces. I also kind of realized that like spring is just around the corner. I mean, it's almost springtime actually, and I have winter projects that I haven't sewn yet, but both of these projects will actually be suitable for spring wardrobe stuff. But I really want to get cranking on these and get these completed in the next week or two, and hopefully be able to start wearing them very, very soon. But before I get started on those things, I want to take a few moments to thank the sponsor of today's video, Lilysilk. Lilysilk very kindly gifted me a few products from their wool and silk collections, and I have to tell you guys, they are absolutely beautiful. I have actually seen other people talking about Lilysilk here on YouTube, and I was very curious about their products, and they are really, really nice. I thought I would do a little try on haul for you with the things that they sent to me and show you a few like winter outfit ideas. I filmed the try on of all the pieces a couple of days ago, and as soon as I finished trying on all the pieces and filming everything, I just put the sweater on and I've been living in this sweater for the last 3 days. So yeah, I really, really like it. Super comfortable, very, very soft, and the quality is just great. So the Jilly Stripe sweater is a 100% merino wool sweater. It's very warm and soft and skin friendly. With this one, I went mostly very casual. I did try one combination with my little corduroy mini skirt, some tights, and my lug sole boots that are fantastic for getting out in the snow. And this gives me an opportunity to kind of stay casual, but also feel a little bit dressed up. I also like the Jilly sweater paired with a pair of high-waisted light wash jeans. And again, my lug sole boots, I wear these all the time. You guys know this. And this is an outfit that I would wear like all the time, just out running errands around town. Another combination that I really like for this is pairing it with my flare jeans and some white sneakers. And I love this with the puffy coat. This puffy coat is one that I made a couple of years ago that I wear all the time. This is like my uniform. When I go out of the house to do anything, I have on the puffy coat with my warm knit hat. That is like, if you see me anywhere around town this time of year, that's what I'm gonna be wearing. And I love the way that this Jilly sweater pairs with the puffy coat. It kind of adds a little bit of extra visual interest under my puffy coat, and the colors actually look really great with this kind of army green color, which is a color that I have a lot of in my wardrobe actually. Next up is this really nice gray turtleneck sweater. This is made from 100% A-grade cashmere. I love turtlenecks like this. I think this is such a staple to have in any wardrobe, and I feel like this is one of those things that you can have it in every color, and it's always going to be in style. And I know I'm gonna be getting so much use out of this. So I love it paired with my high-waisted jeans and boots. It also looks really cute paired with my corduroy skirt and boots, and of course, my beloved puffy coat. I feel like if anything can be worn with my puffy coat and my knit hat in the wintertime, it's a winner, because that's what I'm going to be wearing. This sweater is so soft, and it's got a little bit of a fuzzy texture to it. It's lightweight enough that I feel like it's great for layering in the wintertime, but I'm not gonna get overheated. This is definitely gonna be a staple that I wear over and over again. Now this last piece is possibly my most favorite out of all the things that they sent me. I got this sand-washed silk shirt and it has little epaulettes on the shoulder. I love wearing button-up shirts. I feel like they are so easy to style and so easy to incorporate with just about any piece in your wardrobe. And I also kind of played around with tying it at the waist and the front. I think that that looked really great too. And that is probably how I will wear the shirt most often because that is kind of my go-to styling for a button-up shirt. These are a pair of knit pants that I made for myself. It's like a Ponte knit, and I just did a very simple pant with a wide leg. And I think that this type of look would be perfect for work. Like if you work in an office, it is so comfortable. A silk shirt like this will elevate any outfit. It looks beautiful. And one really nice surprise about this particular shirt, it matches my green pants almost perfectly. I decided to go for kind of a monochrome look here, and I think this looks pretty incredible. I love this outfit. I also paired it with my vintage coat that I thrifted a few years back, and I think the green looks so beautiful with that orange tone camel. This whole look to me is so elegant and so elevated, and I have to hand it all to this silk shirt because it definitely adds that extra French kiss on this outfit. I love these pieces together. Silk is also so lightweight and it just feels so luxurious against your skin. So I know I'm going to enjoy this top and it's going to be a staple in my wardrobe for years. Lilysilk also works with TerraCycle and they are committed to zero waste production. So you'll notice on their website they have a lot of other products like eye masks and hair scrunchies. So they are really trying to maximize the amount of items that they can get out of a yard of fabric basically. And I really love that. Their products are clean and toxin free with an OECO Tex certification. I don't know if it's actually OECO Tex or OEKO-Tex certification. I've put links down in the description to Lilysilk's website if you want to go check out their products for yourself. And I want to again thank Lilysilk for sending these beautiful products. I know I'm going to get so much use out of these and really enjoy wearing them. Here are the different linings that I got. This is going to be the lining for my coat. I also got this lining a while back. Originally I was thinking I might use this for my trench coat, but the color was kind of off. But I really still love this and I'll probably use it for something else. And then this is Kasha satin lining. So I'm gonna wash all of these. I've also got a black somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Actually, let me pull all this out. So I've also got some black lining here. So this black, the copper, and the green are all rayon Bemberg. And I'll probably use the black for the blazer. So I'm just gonna go over to the serger and overlock all of the raw edges. That way they don't get really super stringy in the washing machine and kind of get hung up on each other. While I wait for those fabrics to dry, I am going to work on interfacing the green wool for my Peacoat project. Now I have two types of interfacing here. One is the right kind and the other one is not the right kind, and that's totally my fault. I intended to order a weft interfacing and I actually learned something new because apparently there is a knit weft interfacing and a woven weft interfacing. I accidentally ordered the knit weft interfacing, and when I first got this fabric I was like, oh, Mood Fabrics has messed up my order. They did not mess up, I just didn't read. So the knit interfacing has a little bit of stretch to it, and you can use knit interfacing for an outerwear project. But for these projects, I'm actually just gonna go full weft interfacing. So the woven weft interfacing is non-stretch, and it has kind of a like houndstooth basket weave looking pattern on it. And it is fusible. So I'm actually going to use this to interface all of the fabric for both of the coats. I ordered like 6 yards of it, so I should have plenty. I've heard varying advice on whether or not you should pre-wash your interfacing. And the idea is that you pre-soak it and then you let it air dry. The thing with soaking or pre-washing the interfacing, especially for a fusible interfacing, it does kind of make the fusible backing kind of slough off a little bit. I was still able to fuse the fabric just fine on projects where I pre-soaked that interfacing, but it was just really like, it just felt weird. It was kind of gritty. I didn't really like it, and I didn't really notice a big difference between pre-soaking it and not, so I'm gonna go the easy route on this, and I'm not gonna pre-soak my interfacing. So what I'm doing is called block fusing. Since I want to have all of my pieces interfaced anyway, it'll save me time cutting interfacing out. With this method, I can just block fuse the entire thing and cut it all out at once. Every time that I have purchased wool fabric, I'm always surprised with how lightweight it feels and how thin it feels. Even for heavier wool fabrics, it has a lot more kind of a fluid drape than what I think you would expect when you get a wool fabric. And so the coats that I have fully interfaced, I've been really happy with those. And I think it just adds that extra little bit of structure that gives it a much more tailored finish. And so that's what I'm going for with both of these. I think I'm just gonna be happier with that. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling because I am not totally looking forward to block fusing a bunch of fabric, but I think I'm gonna turn on a TV show or a movie and just kind of slowly work my way through it. I'm gonna be doing it on top of my table here and using my little ironing pad. I just love this little ironing pad. I'm going to be fusing from the interfacing side, so I'm going to place the interfacing adhesive side to the wrong side of fabric, and then I'm going to use a press cloth on top of the interfacing. So I'm just going to use some like scrap muslin that I have, use that as a press cloth so that my iron doesn't stick to the fusible interfacing. It'll be a little bit easier to kind of control where the interfacing is going that way. And anyway, so that's my strategy, and I'm gonna stop rambling, I'm gonna get to it.
I can tell that your time is valuable.
Actually, I don't get paid by the hour anymore, but thank you. I get paid by the year.
When you're using a pressed cloth, it's a good idea, especially when you're using a pressed cloth for interfacing, to make sure that you put the same side on top of the actual interfacing every time you press, because you can see the side's clean. Some of that interfacing fuzz kind of gets sticky and it'll stick to the side of the cloth. If you're flipping this over constantly, you're going to get it on your iron. And just make sure that this side kind of is your dirty side, and it's always on the side that's facing the interfacing. I've got all of my fabric interfaced here. I was kind of feeling a little overwhelmed with getting started on the next step and wasn't sure if I wanted to go ahead and interface my other fabric or kind of start looking at pattern pieces and cutting everything out. So I sat down and watched a couple of videos on YouTube about tailoring techniques, specifically pad stitching. Two that I found immediately that were pretty helpful were from Gertie and Bernadette Banner, and I will link those in the description below this video. So I think now I'm actually going to spread out my fabric and start laying out my pattern pieces and just kind of get my game plan in order. I don't know if I'm going to actually cut anything today, but I do kind of want to see how everything's going to lay out. And sometimes it just gets me excited for the project when I'm feeling a little bit kind of like lacking motivation. I'll just kind of lay everything out with no commitment to actually cut it and start sewing and just see how I feel. Also connected the top and the bottom of some of these pieces. I had divided these pieces at the waist for my trench coat project. I thought it just worked really well for the length of the coat. For this peacoat, I want to simplify things a little bit, so I just went back through and taped all of those pieces back together at that seam line, making sure that I took out the seam allowance. It looks like I'm gonna have plenty of fabric here for this coat, which is great. The corduroy jacket that I based this pattern off of actually hits me like right at the hip, and I really want this to be kind of like a mid-thigh length coat. So I think I'm gonna add about 6 inches to the total length of the jacket. I'll just add that onto the bottom of all these pieces. When I get ready to cut my fabric, I'm actually going to trace around all of the pieces first before I start cutting and make sure that I add that 4 inches on to every single piece before I cut it. So that's another reason I like using my chalk liner to trace out all of the pattern pieces before I cut, because it kind of keeps me mindful of what I'm cutting. If there are any pattern adjustments I want to make on the fly, I can do that with my chalk liner and you know, just make sure that I don't forget any of that when I get kind of in that zen state while I'm cutting. So anyway. I'm hoping that over the next couple of weeks I can really chip away at these 2 projects. I don't want to rush it because I do want to try out some tailoring techniques and share those here on the channel. I've been doing a little bit of research on those, and I have actually done a little bit of tailoring in the past. It definitely is a process where you have to slow things down a little bit, but when I get to that point on these projects, I'll definitely share that here. Thanks so much for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd also like to again thank Lilysilk for sponsoring this week's video and sending me some beautiful products. I really love all of the products that they sent me. And be sure to check out the links in the description to Lilysilk's website so you can check out their products for yourself. Yeah, I'm really excited about these projects. Very excited to get them done and start wearing them and styling them and showing you guys how I'm wearing them and styling them. So anyhow, thank you for being here. I think that is all I have for you today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.